So there's a lot to talk about here, but I want to start with Sharon in Crane, Missouri. It's great to have you on the program, Sharon. And Howard, you're first up today. Very important in setting the tone.
Mr. Limbaugh, it is an honor, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Limbaugh, I have family in Houston, and my nephew is a fireman, and he's out there trying to help people. I don't want to hear left, right, radical, nothing. I do not want this situation politicized.
What are you hearing? What are you hearing, Sharon, that's got you upset?
Well, I hear people saying, well, they're going to have to keep the money from the wall in order to pay for this. They're going to have to do this. They're going to have to do that. I don't want to hear that, sir. This is an American situation. There is not a state in the Union that is not prey to some kind of natural disaster. And California, Oroville Dam, wildfires, New York, blizzards.
Well, yeah, but that's bogus because everybody knows Mexico is going to be paying for the wall anyway.
Sir, I'll tell you what. I don't want to hear any of the political nonsense because there'll be plenty of time after the people are saved. And there are people down there that are in danger and they are suffering. And this is a time for Americans to put on their big pants and say, all right, we'll fight about this later, but right now we've got a situation and we need to take care of it. It is time for Americans to be Americans. And
that is well said, Sharon. And I actually think you're seeing a lot of that. There are some swipes at Trump for not being there. I mean, look, after Katrina and the way they were able to convince people that George W. Bush didn't care. In fact, Hurricane Katrina, do you remember? They were saying that Bush steered the hurricane to New Orleans in order to have all those Democrats harmed so that they would leave Louisiana and migrate to Texas, which is a Republican state, which could have sorted them. There were people that said this, that Bush steered the hurricane, that Bush didn't care. And they're trying to rev the same things up with Trump here. You know they would. That's all. They're the people who politicize things like this are your friends on the left. These people that are protesting nothing at Berkeley. No, there's no opposition. They just show up. And by the way, some in the media, they regret having to do it, but they're admitting now that there's all kinds of violence and hate on the left in these Antifa, however you choose to pronounce it. That's another thing that we have to discuss that, revved up last week before the hurricane hit. But my observation is that there is a really admirable aspect of humanity that's on display, and there for everybody to see in Houston. Now, there's some arguments over who did or did not give an evacuation order for Houston. Well, why wasn't Houston evacuated? Well, let's go back to New Orleans. Remember the post-hurricane flood photos, and there's all those school buses that had not been used. There was an evacuation, but nobody in the state or city of New Orleans had mobilized any of the school buses to get people out. Now, there's some people saying that the governor wanted people to get out of there. The mayor didn't. The governor did issue an evacuation order, was thinking about it, that the mayor of Houston did not. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. When the thing hit, I was in Hawaii, and I was not watching this live because of the 6-hour time difference. But tell me the truth in there. You're watching this. Was anybody in Houston, if they'd been paying attention to media, were they aware that a big storm was coming? Okay, so there was no shock here. No, this thing didn't sneak up. After it hits Corpus Christi, and it comes across as a 4, and it was huge. Okay, but my point is, well, I don't know, but why would you need an evacuation order why can't you make up your own mind to get out of there? But you got to be understanding. We have so many people in this country who've been conditioned to wait for the authorities, for the officials. to say things that if there's no evacuation order, people will interpret, it's not that bad. The government didn't say anything. You can't deny that people have been conditioned that way. Let me take a break. We'll continue after this. Don't go anywhere.